Hey, all happy Monday. Every once in a blue moon, we have to do a video that may not have an upbeat content level.
I mean, I'm upbeat about this. I'm ready to stir the pot.
Stir the pot.
Well, maybe not stir the pot, but...
I'm not really here to stir the pot, but I have seen other channels cover this particular subject, and we never have.
Oh.
We've never done this. Not once
Really?
in the history of SLB.
Well, I guess now's a good time.
Now's a good time. As you all know, as we mature in our bourbon journey, you liked that, didn't you?
Yeah, wow.
Woo.
Did you rehearse that before the video?
No. That's why this came upon me. It just came upon me. Yeah, thanks.
It's impressive.
As we mature in our bourbon journey, our palates change. That's facts. Look at Trenton, look at myself. When I first started drinking whiskey, I could not even touch my lips with a peated scotch. I couldn't do it. Now, would I rank it in one of my top three, some of my favorites? No, not really, but I do really enjoy a nice pour of a peated scotch. I can't really sip on it, for an entire evening or multiple pours.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy a nice pour of a peated scotch whiskey. When I first started, no way.
Well, I mean...
No way.
When I first started, I wasn't an expert, and now I'm basically an expert.
Yeah. So, on the opposite vibe, there's definitely some whiskeys that I've had in the past that even on camera, I said, they're good.
Yeah.
You might want to get it.
I don't know if I've ever...
And at this point, it's just not jiving with me. It's just not.
Well,
I've tried.
Come out swinging, Lips. What do you got?
Well, the first one I got for you, and this is the one that I know I've mentioned on the channel several times, is larceny. Yeah, larceny, unfortunately.
Poor Heaven Hill.
Sorry. Listen, it's not a bad whiskey, and it's reasonably priced. I don't even know what this is. This bottle's been down here for quite some time, and it doesn't get used. It just doesn't. I'm assuming it's in the high $20 range, somewhere in that $28 range.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming, and I really don't know. So, with that in mind as well, it's not a bad whiskey for the price point. But for me, I would 10 times rather pour the regular release of Maker's Mark on a wheated bourbon than this larceny. And unfortunately.
I was hoping you would bring that up. I struggle to find like the market presence for this one. So if you prefer, if you guys have ever had like larceny versus Maker's Mark and you prefer the larceny, please let us know.
Yeah,
because I'm curious.
Yeah, sure.
I'm curious. We actually haven't done that, have we?
Yeah, and
like side by side?
No.
We should do that.
No, we haven't.
We should do that.
And in all honesty, I would have zero problem with anybody that has that opinion.
Oh yeah.
Because this is all whiskey's opinion based.
We're all more individuals. So curious, yeah.
We're all individuals. I want to take that even a slight step further. I'm going to say it lightly, but there is very few of the larceny barrel proofs that I've actually really enjoyed and thought it was great.
Dang.
Very few. And I say it lightly because I do respect, I got mad respect for the price point. So take that with a grain of salt. This is just me speaking as an individual. Fortunately or unfortunately, I get to do it behind the camera. But we'll still keep buying them because they're, $65 or something?
Yeah.
We'll let you know what we think. But larceny in general, here lately, it just hasn't been for me.
One of these ones, I can't remember how long ago this one came out, and I was ecstatic about it. It was the first one that I think Indiana had, or it was the brand was just coming into Indiana. This is the Smoke Wagon Uncut, the younger, because this was like $32, and I like this one a lot.
We were on camera with that one too.
I know we were, yeah.
Yes, we were.
I'd be curious as to how long ago that was. But I have come back to it several times since then, and I got a second bottle. This is my second one, and it's like, there's like probably that much out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, kind of what happened.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's a good price point. It's not a bad product. It's like $32, I think. I don't know how available this is anymore, if they're still doing this release, because I don't really look at Smoke Wagon stuff much anymore. But I was just kind of bummed out. And it was one of those things that I was taking a sip of it, and I was like, did I really say before that I like really enjoyed this? Because something about it anymore, I'm not quite digging it anymore. And it's 115 proof for 30 some bucks.
You would think.
It's a really good proof, really good price point.
You would think.
Yeah.
And I agree with that one. I know I can, on my left, I see what Trenton has over there as his lineup for this show. And dude, what are you doing? I'm sorry. I apologize.
It just kind of tastes like a pencil shaving. It's like a lot.
I don't disagree with most all Trenton has over there, except for one. I do disagree. And I'm sure you have some over here you disagree with me as well. All right, I'm going to cover Irish whiskey really quickly, and it's Redbreast. And I know people are going to fall over because I've said quite a bit of good things about Redbreast, but let me make sure I'm clear and concise on this. I am speaking in terms of their higher aged whiskeys.
Okay.
Period. They're way too much money for what you get.
Is that the one I got you?
Yes. Now, I will enjoy this.
Sure.
I had a 21 year down here. I had a 27 year that I thought it was fantastic, honestly, though. But it's like $700.
Dude, that's double them. But you got that one
it's
at like
insane.
$3.99 5 years ago.
Never again.
Now
it's not
like
worth
$8.
that.
No.
It's a unique drinking experience, and I really enjoyed that. But not close to $700. And the 21 year, I think it's like around $400 or $400. I finished that bottle off. I will not be buying another one. Trenton so lovingly got me this 18 year.
And it makes it on a video.
For the wrong reason. And I will enjoy it. But guys, just so much money. What I would suggest and would be the cask strength, the 12-year cask strength, even though it is about $100, I think it's pretty darn good. The regular 12-year, I still struggle with because the proof point is so low on that bottle.
Is it 80?
Yeah, and it's not a cheap bottle either. It's $60-$70, I'm thinking. And so the Lustows, not so bad. They're the ones finished in sherry, so forth.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm going to have to throw it out there, Redbreast. It's just something I'm going to probably not be buying too much anymore.
You know what I'm not buying too much anymore? Baker's 7.
I was surprised when you picked that up. I had that on my list. I had to find another bottle.
Really?
Yes, because Trenton picked that.
I was buying, and I still like the Baker's 13. I do enjoy the Baker's 13.
Okay.
Still,
I'd have to revisit that because
Yeah.
I haven't been into it that much.
The Baker's 7, though, it's gotten a lot, and maybe it's the couple bottles that I've had or something, but they have gotten just so, like, earthy and, like, all the wrong aspects of what I consider to be, like, a good Jim Beam product that's, like, really tobacco-y, really, like, earthy, just, like, soily. And it's just not something that I'm really gravitating towards anymore, which is unfortunate. But I'll say, I would rather buy this instead of Booker's.
Okay.
But I didn't go down, I'm not going down the Booker's rabbit hole. I'm just not doing it.
No. Well, we've done that. We've done that too much.
They came out with the first 2025 of the
Barry's
Booker's.
batch?
Was it Barry's batch? Sorry, Barry. I ain't buying it. So we'll see what if
you want to
hits.
see a review of Barry's batch, watch Mash and Drum. Jason has a
Did he do
review,
it?
and I listened to it in full because, like I said, if I find one, and Jason is somebody who I would trust his opinion fully, and if he said it was a banger, I'd be calling Trenton. So I am following some folks who are still willing to do the reviews of Booker's, and if one is good, I'll get it. But my take on he had some good things to say about it. My take on it was just another Booker's.
There's a reason I didn't get.
I don't want to put words in Jason's mouth, so if you want to watch that, please watch his video. But to me, it seemed it came across like, it's not bad, just another Booker's.
There's a reason I didn't get a call.
Correct.
From you.
That's correct.
That's
so
fair.
That's enough we'll say about that. The next one I have, I know I'm going to get in trouble about this because I just know I am. And that's okay. This again, let's even the playing field. This is a personal individual choice here. We're talking about you have yours, I have mine. I'm going to put in a Redwood Empire Monarch. I know, guys, there's a lot of folks out there that love this bottle, and I'm glad that you do. Drink what you like, the way you like it. We say that from day one, and we're going to continue to say that. There is a caveat here, though. As you know, Trenton, you've done these videos with me a very long time. I can count on 3 fingers, I'm sure less than that, how many actual Bourrais that I enjoy.
Yeah.
That's what this is. And I am on camera with this one too.
You are?
And yeah, I know, and I'm on camera with this one too. And I'm out there. I'm going to be honest about it. But this bottle is the second. This is the second bottle down here too, and it's hardly been sipped out of at all. And it's just not for me. It's not bad by any stretch. If somebody poured this for me at their house, I would put a grin on my face and enjoy it. But if I'm picking one down here for myself, it's not going to be Monarch. It's just not.
I don't know if you remember this. This was when I had my bar at my last house. I had one of those, and we were doing a video about something about whiskeys that we didn't enjoy so much. And I did buy one of those per recommendation. I got it at Dune Side off of Willow Creek in Portage, and it was like $30 and I tried it, and I was like, man, it's just, it's fine.
Yeah.
I would rather have the Pipe Dream or the Emerald Giant ones as opposed to that. Yeah. But I've had that opinion for a while about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that love it though. That's good. That's good. All right, buddy. What? I see what you got.
I'm gonna go with this one next.
Okay. Hang on. Do not fast forward. Do not leave the video. There's a couple of mind-blowing bottles that are saved for last. Yeah. I saved mine for last, and Trenton's going to save his too.
This might be one that I don't think we've really talked much about on the show before. I can't remember it, but I had a big affinity for this brand at first. I was looking for it. We didn't have it in Indiana. We were going to Benny's, and I was buying anything I could from. Was it Blue Run? I almost said Blue Sky. Blue Run. This in particular is the Golden Rye, but this kind of applies to most of their products. I know we're doing most bottles, but I got a 14-year bourbon from them at Total Wine like 3 years ago. It was like $200, and that's the best Blue Run product I've ever had.
Okay.
Since then, I've bought in pretty much every release that they've gotten, except probably the last year or so. I haven't purchased anything from Blue Run. The Golden and like a bunch of other ones. For $100, I can't do it anymore. Like I just tried this a couple days ago, and I just tried it again before the video, and I was like, man, it doesn't really give me much rye characteristics. I'm sure this was like $80 or $90. This is sourced. I know that they have their own distillery that they announced a couple years ago. I don't know if that's still in the works or not. I'm hoping that they start to produce stuff that's a little bit cheaper, because like sure, the bottle's cool and they have cool boxes and stuff, but you're not paying for the juice. If the juice isn't good inside, then what are you paying that big price for?
Sure.
They're like, the butterflies are neat, and they did this whole thing. I think it was on Seal Box or Bourbon Outfitters a couple of years ago, like the 12 Days of Christmas or whatever. Oh, okay. And they called it like blueberry pie or whatever, and they had different butter. It was cool. It was a cool marketing thing.
All right.
The juice isn't worth the squeeze for me anymore on any Blue Run products. I'm hoping that they come out with something a little cheaper.
I've kind of always been ho-hum.
Yeah. The 14-year will blow your mind.
Wow. Okay.
But anything else?
All right. Last one I got for you guys. This is going to be a shock to everybody, but I had to put it out there. I mean, it's a big brand. It's a well-known bottle, and it was the winner of our very first Bourbon Madness tournament. That's what's shocking the most. Old Forester 1920. I don't know, Trenton, if that particular bottle that we had for the very first Bourbon Madness tournament was just an exceptional batch, which, as you guys know, there's such a thing.
Yeah.
We had a whole big series on Wild Turkey 101. We have David Jennings chiming in and actually doing a piece on it.
That was cool.
And it was very cool. And what he said made perfect sense. Batches are going to vary a little bit. But since that bottle, this is the third one now that I've had down here. The second and the third one have both just been okay. It seems it's heavy banana for me, and it seems a little synthetic on the flavors. The proof point is nice, and I'm going to grant you that. But I would rather have the 1910 all day long.
I'm right there with you.
I'd rather have probably, and I'm just in case I'm missing one, probably most all the other expressions on this Prohibition releases than the 1920.
I'm right there with you. I haven't purchased one of those in a while, only because the two that I've purchased I've kind of gotten burned on. I actually have one that I purchased shortly after we talked about it being a little bit off their normal profile, and I tasted it. I was like, it's not really great. I went out and bought another one because I was like, what are the odds? Kind of what we did with the Wild Turkey.
I don't know if you remember or not, but since the 1920 kind of has failed in blinds for us here recently on a few, if you remember, that bottle had about yay left in it.
Yeah.
I bought this new and dumped that bottle.
Oh.
Just a little bit left. So I thought, well, possibly,
Yeah.
we all hear, they might have went a little bit bad or whatever. So I dumped it and went with this one, and I'm still not very fond of this one either. So there you have it.
When people ask what I would recommend for what should I add to my collection, whatever, I do not recommend that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's unfortunate.
Maker's 46 cask. I mean,
yeah,
it's
sure.
unreal.
I get it.
But, all right.
Last but not least.
I was over the moon about the first one of these that I purchased. And
Me
granted,
too.
this is a single barrel. I bought this for $80 at Pat's in Burns Harbor off of 20.
She said she misses you, by the way.
I'm sorry, Liz, if you're watching.
Yeah.
$80. I think that was a little bit more than MSRP, but it's a smaller business. I'm happy to support a small business.
Mm-hmm.
E.H. Taylor single barrel. Granted, it's a single barrel, but I would all day of the week take a small batch E.H. Taylor over the single barrel. It's going the same route, and this is one of the reasons I didn't put in like a Henry McKenna 10-year or a Evan Williams single barrel or like that kind of a lineup, because price went up, quality went down, and the single barrels are just like, This is kind of one of those ones that if I was given the choice, would you rather have a small batch? Would you rather have a single barrel? I would take this small batch all day.
All right.
I honestly don't, hot take, I think E.H. Taylor is like the worst lineup from Buffalo Trace.
Wow, you're stepping out hardcore today, aren't you?
It's just kind of mid.
Really?
Yeah. Like the small batch I will leave out as an exception, but anything else like
Boy, Eric is not going to like you for saying these things. Eric K.
Eric, does he like it?
Yes, he does. He's a Buffalo Trace guy.
Well, I know he's a Buffalo Trace guy, but I'm just kind of mid. Like the straight rye doesn't even taste like a rye. Oh
well,
the barrel.
I like it. However, I understand your statement.
Barrel proof, the rye was a letdown. The regular barrel proof is just like, I haven't had a good batch since like batch 10 or 9, 10 or 11. I can't remember. Now it's just like, it's hot and it doesn't taste like a whole lot. And these are just kind of, you're pulling the trigger for like a $90 single barrel now, and you don't even know if it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
that's just my take.
That's the one and again, I will say this tongue in cheek because this is an individual choice. But that's the one I kind of disagreed with Trent on. If you get it for the right price, that's the key. I'd rather have the single barrel. That's me. But
it's okay to be incorrect.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's fine.
That's all right.
Let us know what you agree with and don't agree
please.
with. I'm sure we are going to have some sense of that in the comments, and I can't wait for that discussion.
Yeah, and more power to you.
Yeah.
No hard feelings on our end either, so that's the way it goes. But hey, every once in a while we got to put a video out like this, and I just figured we would do this. We haven't ever done video where we liked it. Now we kind of not. So it was interesting.
I had an idea while I was looking around on some of my things of some brands in particular that I don't want to use the term fell off, but I thought were kind of kept in much higher regard, and we're kind of people were talking about them more than they are now. So if you guys want to see that, please let us know in the comments. I'd actually be kind of excited to do that one.
Yeah.
But stay tuned. Go ahead.
Lots to talk about in the comments here. We'd like to know of any of your choices that you used to just love, and all of a sudden you're just having a hard time pulling it off the shelf.
Yeah, I'm curious to see those.
Lots to talk about in the comments. We'll check them. All right, guys, that's all we got for you today. Have a fantastic week. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and see you next time right down here with Trent and me in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.